Welcome to Ohioans Against Extremism podcast.
Oh my God, that was beautiful.
I've been training for that my whole life. Welcome to Ohioans Against Extremism, Season 2, Episode 6. I am Ainsley Johnson Brown.
And I'm Taria Palmer.
Not Maria Bruno.
I'm not Maria. I'm here. Maria's on a short sabbatical.
Yes.
A month-long sabbatical. And so,
well-deserved.
Yes, very well-deserved. So, for some reason, I'm here. So, hello.
Well, there's more to it. There's more to it than that. I mean, outside of your invaluable advice and guidance when it comes to OAE stuff, you have a podcast all your own.
I do. I have Columbus Can't Wait.
Okay.
It's not as expansive as y'all's show in the sense that y'all's show is obviously statewide. Mm-hmm. My show just functions around Columbus, and we get in other people's business occasionally.
Okay.
But we try not to. But yeah, so I got a little bit of expertise.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about some Columbus things.
I'm here today just so that you have somebody to talk to. Just so you won't be talking into the abyss.
A monologue?
So it won't be a monologue.
Yeah, that would be
today. But I'm also on the board.
You are?
Of Ohioans Against Extremism. This is part of my board service for this month.
I'll make sure I know
Don't call me
this.
for anything else.
Fair. All right, so it is mid-April.
Yep.
We thought we were good.
The tulips have bloomed.
The tulips have bloomed, and the geese have eaten some of the petals from those bloomed tulips.
Yeah, these animals, they don't give a damn. They're like, you displaced us, we're going to ruin your garden. Like the bunnies in my yard don't really know where they came from. They were not really around the first couple of years we lived here, but last year
they popped out.
They ate my kale, my lettuce, my
They said
peppers.
If you're going to be here, you got to pay a tax.
They said, yeah. They're like little mob bunnies. They're like, you got to pay me something.
I'm leaving here with something.
On this land. So, yeah, that's where we're at. I just saw one of them. He was like, I'm back. I saw him out in the back. Yeah, I'm sure. They also had other bunnies in my garden bed.
You know, this actually is a great segue into our topic for the day.
Pregnant bunnies?
Well, not pregnant ones, but just like, speaking of like, I'm leaving here with something.
Okay.
Ballot initiatives.
Sometimes we leave with something, sometimes we don't.
But we always make ourselves known.
Yes.
So that being said, by the time you see this, Ohioans Against Extremism will probably already have hosted its first ballot fair, which is in Columbus on April 17th, just in case this is out before then. Feel free to come and join us. It's from 1 to 3 at the United Methodist Church for All People. And this happens to air after that, don't worry, because we also have one planned in Akron in June. And if anybody wants one in their neck of the woods, send us an email.
What is the ballot fair for the people who don't know?
That's fair, because I totally made it up.
Okay.
So
I feel like, speaking of animals, I'm reading Charlotte's Web again with my daughter. So when you bring up fairs, it makes me think about Wilbur.
All right, I'm sorry. It's not that
Did
kind
you read
of...
that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
It's not that kind of fair.
It's kind of morbid.
It is, but it's not that kind of fair. It's not that kind of fair at all. Okay. So, you know how like you're going to the grocery store and you go to walk in and somebody runs up with a clipboard and it's like, hey, do you have a second for like some super important, expansive issue?
So you can sign everything.
Well, more than that. It's better than that. Because like I was thinking, like when I didn't know what to do with my life and I went to a career fair.
Yeah.
What was that like, right? So we're going to have some presentations from a few of the statewide initiatives and 2 locally to Columbus. We are going to have...
Issue 5? We have...
Issue 5 has been invited. We would love to have them with us.
Okay.
We are a part of that coalition.
Yeah, okay.
I also need to sign that petition myself, so...
Our city, our say?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
See, I got them all.
I want the representation that I voted for, and I want the representation. My district or my ward deserves the representation that it voted for, if nothing else.
Well, maybe we should. Okay, so for those people who are listening, ballot fair basically folks who have ballot initiatives that will happen this year.
Well, we've also got one for Columbus that they're collecting signatures now, but they won't be on the ballot until 2027.
Okay. Ballot initiatives. Nothing past 2027.
Correct.
You can come and learn more about each initiative, and you have also the potential to sign if you want to.
So you get to find out about like the general overview of what this legislation does. You get to ask questions from the lead organizers and experts in that issue. And once you feel comfortable, you can go ahead and sign. You can get it all done in one place at one time. And
we love a one-stop shop. I think that's an excellent idea.
Thank you.
We're going to amplify that as well on Columbus Can't Wait. I think we've shared it a couple of times. I think that we should, just like they make it convenient for themselves to strip rights away from us, we should also make it convenient for people to be able to come one place and get on board with the things that they care about. And bring your friends.
Yes.
As many people as you want.
Well, we're bringing our friends. We just made new friends after we announced that we were doing this. There's actually a group in Ohio that is called the Ohio Ballot Protection. That is the name of their organization. They are focused on making sure that any voter that wants to take their complaint from their group chat to the ballot, right? Like, what does that process look like? How do I, as a regular Ohio voter, get my issue on the ballot? What is, that process? And so, at least while we still have this tool, because
is that what? Well, okay. Before we get to there, because that feels. You know what? Fine. Let's just talk about it. It makes me so irritated because we
Tell
know.
them why you mad.
I mean, because we know that ballot initiatives are one of the only ways to exercise people power, in the sense that, like, there's a lot of ways, right? So I don't want to say that, but I'm talking about when you look at the Constitution in your state and you're like, why is this in there?
Yeah.
That is your lever to pull, is to get enough signatures. And there's a lot of stuff that happens before that. So this is just me dumbing it down a little bit. You have to get signatures to get on the ballot to change whatever that thing might be. So in 2023, it was our reproductive freedom amendment. If y'all remember, that had been, struck down federally. And then the people in our state did a lot of hard work to put reproductive freedom on the ballot. And it passed. But it took a lot of legwork, a lot of organizing, a lot of negotiating, all of the things to make that happen. And now there are largely Republican legislators who have seen how ballot initiatives have worked, not just in Ohio, but across the country. And they're like, oh, hell no. And now, what are they doing? What they always do. What are they doing, Ainsley?
They're slowly chipping away at one, who can participate in this process, who cannot participate in this process. The fees, they're actually charging there are some states that are charging money to even verify ballot signatures. So say you're required to have 100,000 ballot signatures in your state. There's some states that are charging as much as $4.95 per signature. How many small groups, grassroots coalitions, etc., does that immediately eliminate?
And you have to raise a lot of money to to think about, like, initially, you have to raise a lot of money for this.
Yes.
Because it takes a lot of, again, paying organizers, canvassers, all of the things. And then on top of that, now you, in some states, have to pay $4.95 per signature.
I mean, they're also trying to, limit how funds even come into those, those initiatives and those causes. So it's
there are laws that are changing around that as well.
Just strangling from both sides.
Yeah, I mean, one thing about them, they're clever.
Are they?
I mean, they find a way. They're shrewd. I mean,
I'll give them shrewd.
Okay, they are. What does shrewd mean to you?
So it's clever, but in a semi-nefarious way.
Okay, to me that's the right word.
Okay.
I was gonna say lacking principles.
Well, also
shrewd sounds nicer.
I mean, but like a person that's shrewd would also be devoid of integrity.
Yeah. Yeah, because again, if the reason why we have this in the first place was for the people to have a say, not only, here's the other thing, like I kind of don't get it either, because it's like even the things that have been won via the ballot initiatives, they chip away at those too.
Yes.
So like weed is supposed to look totally different.
It's really changed since our last episode.
Right. Today, I don't know what day in April. It's April 2026, year of our Lord. And that weed law does not look like the one that we voted for a couple of years ago, because they have stripped it down so much and diluted it so much from what people actually voted for. They are doing the same thing with the Reproductive Freedom Amendment. And so it's like, well, damn. Like, and it's all, you're not even gonna, you're already not giving it to us like we wanted it. Right. And you're also trying to take it away. It's just like,
it's also, I mean, amongst all the other gripes that I have with this, it's also that, the restrictions are not, they don't apply to everyone. They're only one-sided. And I say that to say there have been a number of legislatures, including Ohio, we went through this in 2023, that have tried to change the threshold for passing this type of initiative from a simple majority to like the 60%, right?
Right.
And I would respect it more if at the same time they change their internal rules for what constitutes a passed law or not. Because if 60% is representative or more representative, then why isn't that 60%
in the state house?
At the state house, especially considering how much of a majority they already have. It would really be no harm, no foul to the plight of reducing resident participation if they just applied it to themselves as well. At least gave us the semblance.
There's never like a reciprocity sort of piece to this, and that's like that would be right. That's talking about us like in a perfect world. Like it would be nice if their expectations would look similarly to the expectations that they have across the aisle. And they
don't have to.
It never works that way. They don't have to, because they have the numbers.
They do. They have the big numbers.
Yeah. So
well, that was depressing.
It was, but we're going to talk a little bit about like Amy Acton, right?
Sure.
Because isn't that something that, no, she's talking about redistricting, which, I mean, but another messed up situation.
But it all feeds into how the state has been gerrymandered via the redistricting process over time. It's
all related.
It's all
this is how we got here.
Exactly. It's like that had reduced the check and balance of simply your vote, meaning that you were actually getting representation.
Right.
And so, there are some states, it's not even all states do this. Like Ohio was one of 24 states where citizens can take, something to the ballot, and it's supposed to be a check and balance. If the legislature is not giving you what you feel like you voted for or that you believe in, and, the citizenry, the residents have the numbers, then by all means, flex. Mm-hmm. But now they want to tie our arm behind our back.
I thought that they liked small government.
I thought
so too. So that's why I'm always confused. Like, didn't you want the citizens of your state to be able to make decisions about what's happening in your state? And then when people try to do it, it's like, no, that's not actually what we wanted.
It's so wild because, like, yes.
It's all fake.
And to your point, the number of bills that have been introduced that automatically like put Ohio lockstep with whatever the federal government says. So one, that really eliminates the purpose of having a state government, right? But then we're also saying, and this is for those of you that are in Columbus, this will be one of the ballot initiatives that's collecting signatures. But the state legislature is doing what they can to really crush the autonomy of the municipalities and the cities and the townships.
Yep.
So it's really just a straight shot from whatever they decide federally. There's no parameters around it, down to no matter where you live or what type of community you've tried to build for yourself, you're just subject to those laws without any recourse, and that's wild. That's not. I mean, outside of democracy, that's not federalism.
No.
I mean, I don't want to get into a whole states' rights thing. Right.
Yeah, because you're a constitutional law scholar. Listen.
I'll
be dog paddling my way through that conversation.
Hop up on this, hop up on this jet ski.
But I mean, yeah, it's we don't live in. I'm talking specifically about Republicans here in our legislature. Mm-hmm. We do not live in the kind of state that they actually say the principles that they claim they have actually say that our state should look like. And that for me is a big problem.
Yeah.
And I think that it has made me very happy. I still have a lot of anger at the folks who made the decision to vote for Trump.
Okay.
But I have been happy that it feels like some of them are starting to see the error in their ways, mm-hmm. and how this person really is against principles that I think that some of them hold very close to them.
Well, I really can't think of one principle that he, to this day, has just upheld.
Me either.
Any of them.
Me either. But it's like when it's slapping you in the face.
So it's like no matter what whatever your justification for voting for him was, he's blown it up. Like no matter what it was.
No matter what it was. I didn't know what it was from day one. Okay? I never knew what the reason was.
But even if it was something, it's gone.
Right. Things are not more affordable.
No, what? Gas is $4.99.
I know. You came over here on a scooter.
I did.
We ain't got it, right?
I can't take my scooter into the state house, but we'll talk about that another time.
With the price of gas, I think we need to, and Pete and Joe, I mean, how are people supposed to get... So what we're trying to say is things are not more affordable.
They're not at all. They're not.
This man tweeted a picture of himself as Jesus today. So all of the religious mm-hmm. reasons that people had... Mm-hmm. I don't know about y'all. I think that's blasphemous.
It feels a little blasphemy. A little.
My deaconess mama,
ooh,
in her white on Sunday would not appreciate that at all.
There's only one.
I know she's mad, but I haven't had a chance to call her. She didn't vote for Trump.
Of course not.
Let me make that clear. Nobody in my family voted for Trump. But for the people that are evangelicals.
Mm-hmm. He's making a mockery.
He doesn't give a damn.
And
I would love to be a fly on the wall. I'm going to go over to Truth Social and see what they're talking about.
They're upset over there.
Do I just need my email to get on there?
I have no idea what it is.
Me either. I've never tried.
But from the screenshots that I have seen on other platforms from Truth Social say that the folks are waking up and they're not too happy about it.
They're pissed.
As they should be.
They're pissed. They're pissed about Iran. They're pissed about cereals still expensive.
Cereal is wild.
I mean, everything at the grocery store is $5 at least. It doesn't matter. It could be a grain of salt. $5. Why?
For a singular grain.
For a singular grain of pepper.
This coarse pepper?
For one sushi. One, not the roll. Just a little. $4.99.
The sashimi, not even a rice.
That's just the rice.
Who needs rice anyway,
Who wants a balanced meal anymore?
What is balanced? There's no FDA. I mean, there is an FDA, but is there anybody in the building?
Listen.
So maybe a single sashimi is the new serving.
I do worry though. Like, what happens when people, for real, I do feel like people are feeling like, man, I really got like bamboozled through this whole thing.
Yeah.
But what happens when like it really hits people that they have just truly been had? That scares me a little bit.
So that's kind of, but that's kind of the reason that we exist, right? Because like just realizing how
that makes this country ripe for extremism.
Absolutely.
When it already extreme shit has been happening.
You voted, you showed up, you testified, you put together the ballot initiative, you funded it, all those things, and still no one is listening to you. There's only so much that a person is willing to do when they cling to something that they hold so dear. Before, there's only so much in the nonviolent, scales that they're willing to do before, some of the targeted attacks and even, just the literal murders and assaults of people. Just seeing the path that we have been on because of how misrepresented we are and how unresponsive our legislature is and how...
on both sides, too.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Like, that's the thing. It's like, let's just say there's only two sides. We know that's not the truth, but like, let's just, for the sake of the conversation, we've got Democrat and Republican. I think largely people are disappointed. There's just a lack of hope and a lack of trust that scares me. When I think about like extremism too, people talk a lot about all this other stuff that has happened over the last, let's say since 2020. Let's just say it started with January 6th. Again, we know that's not true.
Sure.
To me, the most heinous thing that people never talk about is those two legislators that were in Minnesota and that man like went in their house and killed them. I'm like, what is more extreme? Now, a person running into the Capitol with 50 million other people and still on a podium. I mean, people have a lot of courage when they've got a group of people.
But this one
singular person, you have to have a level of just despondency, probably mental health issues, and all kinds of other stuff that is going on with you in the sense of like you have no more faith in this government, that you would go face to face with someone and harm them in that way.
Yeah.
So to me, when people are talking about extremism, they're talking about all this stuff that has affected like groups of people or groups of people have done it. I'm like, no, we should be actually worried about people who do stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he's not the only one. And he had to do a lot.
Yeah. That's not even one of those, like, it had to make it out the group chat ideas. Because that was just one person.
He probably didn't talk to anybody about it.
Right.
Because if he did, wouldn't...
So how dissociated from society?
You didn't get caught on the dark web? Like, you know what I mean?
Listen.
So it's scary when you think about I guess ultimately what I'm trying to say is like, we're not safe in the sense of like big groups of people planning things and people planning things for just one person who is rightfully upset.
Yeah. Because
they feel like they are not being heard or represented. Now, is your action, did you have a right to do that? Absolutely not. But that's why I'm so passionate about political homes for people. But the right political home. Because some of y'all are in...
Well, we bill ourselves as the place for the politically homeless. Right? You were trying to find your tribe. You can come hang out over here. Because, again, I love to say this. We are not necessarily for anything or anyone. Like, even we're about to have this conversation about... the gubernatorial candidate, Dr. Acton, which, we'll get into that, and fascinating woman. But we're not, OAE isn't necessarily for the vote of any one candidate. We are just against the people that are extreme. Now, it just so happens that the other major party candidates in that race, they raised some red flags. So it's easy for us to say, for us to lift up and highlight, in this particular race, this particular set of values. But I love to say that we are not necessarily for anything. We're just against the bullshit. So until you figure out or find, your tribe of, things and issues that you can be for, feel free to come and hang out over here where we're just against. bad stuff.
When is your next coffee event? Because I also feel like
it was good though.
Yeah.
It was really well attended. And people were really engaged.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I do feel like you all create, first of all, you're very knowledgeable, but you also create a space for people to come share. Mm-hmm. And they are going to, they're not going to come away with like misinformation. It's like, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to validate. Here are the things that I don't know if that's true. I don't think that's true. Let's do a little more research about that. But it's not going to be like shaming.
No, well, this is people. The thing. I understand, and we've thrown out some credentials, but no matter all the credentials that either one of us has, our vote counts the same as insert person.
We only get one.
Or
we all fail the group project.
Exactly. So it wouldn't even like outside of it just like not being productive and not being community building and not being nice, we would really be doing ourselves a disservice, to try to shame people or attempt to shame people because of they're acting on the information that they believe to be true, when maybe they just need more information or more accurate information.
And that hasn't worked. So we need to find another strategy because I think that there's a difference between holding people accountable for the way that they vote and how it affects other people, and then there's a difference between just like shaming people.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, that I think shame is just like anything else. It's rooted in, I think, a deep feeling of I did something wrong. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times how people deal with shame is they just double down. Yeah. And so...
Or triple down in some cases.
Triple down.
In some cases.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not going to... Listen, you triple down. Like, that's what it is. But, like, let's talk about why you tripled down.
You did stand on business.
You did stand on business. But let's talk about why you tripled down on something that...
ended up hurting you.
Ended up hurting you and hurting us all.
It's hurting your pockets right now. I guarantee, no matter who you are, your pockets are a little bit lighter.
Farmer, like people who are not farmers.
Yeah. I can only imagine the panic of someone in Ohio that is a farmer that farms or was farming hemp or marijuana. Yeah. Under the original, what the people passed and what the people voted for.
Well, then, like just even the other things that that folks farm in a state like Ohio. Yeah. I mean, all of that has been, in general, has been affected by the war.
The tariffs.
Mm-hmm. So it's just been like a double whammy. Yeah. Especially in states that are extremely rural. Yeah. Like in Ohio. Yeah. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out what to do with that because I'm still mad at y'all. Very pissed. Yeah. But
that's a lot to process.
Yeah, but I also know that like shaming people for the decision that they made is probably not helpful. So I myself am processing through how does that show up for me? Yeah. And some of it is it's just not, and
that's okay.
Hey.
That's okay.
I'm definitely not considering myself part of the 92% of Black women who are like opting out of politics at this moment. I started doing stuff the next day. I was like, oh wait.
What did the next day look like for you?
2024, I was at Grind. We had an election party. Mm-hmm. And they called one of the first races. Mm-hmm. And the way that it was called, I knew.
What'd you know?
I knew that Trump was going to win.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I had my New York Times app. And I kept checking it. And it was like, girl, it's not going nowhere.
It said, give it up.
I was like, take it out. Blow on it like you use the VHS and put it back in. This can't be right. Game. Yeah, it was like that. And I put that Sega game right back and on the console. It was still dusty.
Trump beat Mike Tyson is what it said.
It said, right. And so around like, I don't know. It was, I left the party. I was the host and I left.
Okay. A lot of big feelings.
I had a lot. I had no feelings at all. I was like, I'm going and getting in the bed, and that's what I did.
And that's
I came straight home. I got in bed, and I just waited for. Tomorrow. It was like those disaster movies, like the sci-fi ones where people know something bad's gonna happen, and there's
like
always
Paradise.
Yeah, it's always one person who just goes to sleep. Do you know when the Titanic was sinking? And those people just put their kids in the bed with them.
You the sleepy one?
That was me. I was like, what can we do? We can't do anything.
You can't. At this point, you can't do anything.
Yeah, the Titanic was sinking, and I was like, I'm just going to go lay down. Okay. And then in the morning, I looked at my phone, and I was like...
Then you got to work.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe it was like the day after. It was very soon after. And I respect people... who that's not what they want to do, because I do think that Black women have contributed so much and so much labor and like have been sounding the alarm about most things.
I just watched a documentary about Barbara Jordan, so like that's really resonated.
Exactly. Perfect example.
Yeah.
Perfect example. Yeah. And she was one of the first names that I knew, like who worked in government.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I wrote a report or something.
She's very strong in her understanding of the Constitution. Just saying.
Right. We need those people.
we do what we can, you know?
And so, yeah, I mean, I understand because there's been a lot of labor. But for me, I kind of like got right on it. So, yeah.
Never too late to get into the game.
No, never.
Which bring full circle.
But Black women, y'all can also choose not to get in at all. I just have to say that.
All right.
Do you have feelings or thoughts about that?
None. Not a singular one.
Okay. Cheer. All right. Now what's next?
Is that it? Are we just talking?
I thought we were talking about Dr. Acton.
What about her?
She said that she would support trying to pass more substantive laws around redistricting.
Okay.
I think there was a ballot initiative that didn't pass, and I think she mentioned that she would like if that happened again, she would support that. Mm-hmm. Good sign. It doesn't surprise me.
Well, I'll say this, all right, because I haven't fully developed my thoughts on this, so I'm open to suggestion. But I will say, I did a little bit of research, not a lot, but a little bit, on just the different ways that the governor in a state like Ohio can impact redistricting. And there are a lot of tools. I know in like a previous podcast we talked about like which candidates would be willing to utilize all the tools in the toolbox. And like, yes, supporting supporting legislation that would do what we tried to do last year.
So what you saying, she can just do it easier than that?
Well, I'm not saying she can do it easier than that, but there could be a more comprehensive plan. Right?
Okay.
Because for one, like the governor sits on the commission. Right. And so I know that, our current governor has been largely quiet when it comes to how our maps have been drawn, except to say that we are not astute enough to draw them ourselves. But that being said, you're the governor. So what you say has power and weight, and being able to help shape the narrative and let people understand what is happening in real time, that is also totally an option. All of us are not able to go and sit in those rooms where they draw those maps and explain why, but the governor does. Mm-hmm. And if the logic is some nonsense, tell us that.
Well, and I would argue that she's a great communicator.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she was hey,
She's from Youngstown.
This is how many people are dying.
Yeah.
Every single day. I think she was coming on daily.
Yeah, at the height.
Talk to us. I think her comms people need to do that, something like that weekly.
Okay.
With her, where if she is elected, she does that same sort of, God, I hope it's less morbid than that was, because that was scary. But it was comforting to see her. So I do hope that, I think it would be cool if her comms people really thought about how that
just
worked when she did it, and keeping like a weekly where she explains this, gives her take on it.
That would be cute. That would be very, very cute.
Can it happen?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is where I would normally make a joke about $15,000 an episode podcast. Funded by the state. I won't.
Right.
But that being said, is it possible? Absolutely. Is there the funds for it? Absolutely. Is it necessary? Absolutely.
Yeah. So she's going to have to try to get $15K. It's out there, apparently.
It's $60K.
Somebody has it. So
Jobs Ohio.
Dr. Acton's people, think about that.
That one's on the house.
Take our idea. That one's on the house.
That's a little bit of political consulting, and we're
and podcast consulting.
Yeah, just
little comms consulting. But yeah, I mean, I think about that a lot too, right? Like it's cute to say that you'll support something, but do you actually have more power to do us even one better?
Yeah, and that's all I want to see, right? I mean, I understand the limitations.
Give us the Mom Donnie treatment.
Girl can dream, can't she?
He's like, when he fixed those poles, I was like, Cleveland. Is anyone from Cleveland watching? Well, I feel like when I go home, my car just like falls into
the number of tires that I had to replace as a resident of Cleveland makes me angry.
It makes no sense.
Wheel alignments,
and then balancing. Don't mess around and get a speeding ticket
because they want that money.
They want that money.
Issue you a warrant.
Yeah, I don't want it. Okay. So my question then is, if this ticket, look at all these fees. Why does the road look like this?
So, it's always somebody else's responsibility. The county, the city, the state.
I feel like for as much imperfection that man has, the one powerful thing that I think that he's done a lot of things I have liked so far across the spectrum of like different, let's say we're in different buckets. But I think that he has done a really good job of showing like the things that we think should be easy actually are. And
it's all
they
about
actually are possible, right?
Yeah.
Depending on where you're at. Like every state is different. But
well, let's be honest. Mom Donnie wouldn't exactly pass the muster statewide in Ohio. Well, no. I guess he's just, I won't say just the mayor of the city because it's a city of 8 million people. But I don't know that I can think of even the most progressive cities in Ohio where they would be ready for a Mom Donnie.
No.
It would be nice. We could get a lot done. I know there's a lot happening in the childcare arena. There's a lot happening in the infrastructure arena. There's a lot happening in the data center arena. But I don't know that we're ready for someone as proactive.
They also, it's just culturally a different kind of city.
Yeah.
Where they would be ready for someone like that.
Yeah.
But the possibility, right? For me, it's like people seeing what's possible.
Oh yeah.
And figuring out how can something like that work.
You know what
in a state like Ohio. Let's just go down to city level. In a city like Columbus or Cincinnati.
Fair.
Not that I've given up on you, Ohio, but the pockets.
Well, even all the talk about all of the wealth, all of the money is going to leave. It has not left New York City. They have not moved. They have not put fire sales on the real estate.
What is that group? They're called something billionaires or millionaires. There's a group, again, this is me forgetting, but there's this Perfect Union video.
Okay.
And there's a group called something millionaires, and they are obviously people with a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And the guy that's the chair of that group, that's what he talks about. He's like, I'm not leaving. Like, it's all smoke, right? Yeah. Like, there's still something special that makes people want to live in a place like New York City. So this idea of like people will just do a mass exodus. I mean, even in California where they passed that tax, mm-hmm. some people left and went to Florida or something, right? But you're not going to have a mass exodus of...
That's also just not how markets work. Because also, if you can afford to put your...
Tell us, former finance guru.
If you can afford to put your $80 million condo on the market and move out of spite, and without having sold it or having any sort of like financial contingency around what it's still going to cost you to maintain as you move to another state with a whole different set of expenses, blah, blah. If you can afford to do that, chances are...
Also, just someone else is gonna move in. Like when you leave, someone else is gonna move in. Like, we're talking about real estate that is like stuff that you just can't find everywhere in places that you can't find.
Have you tried to get an apartment in New York City?
No.
It's wild.
Not in a really long time.
It's wild.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just like, okay, like you leave, somebody else is going to be like right behind you.
Absolutely.
And no matter how much it is, like no matter
there's
how
gonna
much
be somebody from Iowa that is a descendant of a cattle ranch that just has it and wants the big city experience. That's going to drop the money.
Exactly. So the threat is cute and everything, but I want y'all to find that Perfect Union video because he breaks it down very well. And I mean, I think that's the thing that I like about Mamdani is that I think the what's possible piece mm-hmm. to me is really big right now. Like, people need something to like see light at the end of the tunnel, and I think some of the things that he has done that have been like simple, that we all knew were simple solutions, and then actually doing them like gives me a lot of hope.
Well, he's actually an example of what we talk about when we talk about just the average Ohioan getting in the game. Like, he's New York born and raised. He was a city council person, and he has voiced his concerns, and his tune hasn't changed as he rose to becoming mayor. It just so happened, like, we know he spoke to so many more of the voters that have been disenfranchised and forgotten and disillusioned, etc. I don't know. We're never gonna. Well, I shouldn't say.
What else though?
What's that?
He's like, he is gonna have to acquiesce in some ways. Like, he's gonna have to compromise eventually in certain ways. But I think that's also good for people to see. Yeah. Because we also have gotten to this point, I think, as a society that we like
all or nothing.
Yeah, and it just is not. That's just not how life works. Yeah. That's just not how this is gonna work. People can remain strong on their principles, like, right, like what your core stuff is. It's like you're not gonna change up. Yeah. And then what are the things that you're gonna have to be willing to compromise on in order to get only you and like your team knows that. Mm-hmm. But it seems like a good place to start, right? Like, hey, these are my core.
What do you think it'll be?
I don't know.
I think it's going to be the MTA.
Yeah.
That's
a former New Yorker.
That's a monster. And also, like, nothing is beyond redemption, right? But I feel like you have to at least be willing to engage in some sense of adventure anytime you get on the subway, right?
Yeah. I moved a mattress on the subway once. Why?
But the things that
Why
I've
did
seen
we
on
do
the
that?
but the things that I've seen on the subway, that is not like, that is by far like,
it's
not
by far right, but it was still the whole time from Brooklyn to Queens.
That's whoa.
For what reason? What was the reason? Like Cardi said.
But also
back to the MTA though.
Yeah. Good old.
There's always some sense of adventure.
I know somewhere I still have a Metro card. I just need to find it now that they're extinct.
Yeah, I know I've got one.
Somewhere
too.
We were really outside. We were really there.
We were really, that was an era. But either way, I mean, I think my entire arc this whole episode has been where can we find some semblance of hope?
Yeah.
Because we need it.
Within?
I always have hope within. Otherwise, there's no reason to do this.
That's a good place to start, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason if I have no hope, but I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about the average person.
Okay.
I think the average person feels like, what is the point?
What's the point? Yeah.
You know. So I think that's the place from which I'm always gonna. I'll probably be doing stuff till I'm an old lady.
I could see that.
You know.
I could see it.
And that's okay. Hopefully it's not this stuff. Hopefully this stuff has
we'll
changed.
have evolved.
Hopefully it's something much less high stakes than democracy. Saving of democracy.
I mean, I think and I'm glad that you said that. Because I don't think that there's ever going to be a time when everyone can take their hands off the wheels. I think that's how we got here, right? Because the opposition, as I like to call them, the opposition doesn't take days off. And, what we are seeing and have seen over the last, grow over the last 20 years has been 50 years of organizing. Now it's been organizing, funded and orchestrated by capitalists who are really good at efficiency and scaling and, all the things. And so, when things bloomed, it literally just kind of took over. But if we don't maintain some baseline for just constantly affirming what our sense of democracy is, we're going to end up right back in this place 40 or 50 years from now, because they're not going to stop.
Yeah, no. I mean, they haven't. That's why that's exactly why we're still...
Since 1619, 1776, whatever you want to call it.
We're not negating, like, folks' labor, but, when you think about... Even when you just think about reproductive rights, like...
What reproductive rights?
They found their targets.
Yeah.
And they worked on those people for generations. Generations.
Mm-hmm.
And so approaching this with like rigor, but also what that means is that it can't just be 5 people. It has to be, again, like finding your political home, finding the things that you care about. Yeah. If you care about gun violence in schools,
and it's
just because your kids aren't at school anymore doesn't mean you can't care about gun violence in schools. Like, you can still stay the course, again, till your granny, till we're all golden girls. It pisses you off that kids take guns in schools and kill other kids. Let it piss you off when you're 70.
Yeah. Hopefully it won't be happening in 30 years.
And hopefully you won't be at the meetings yelling at people. Not saying that boomers do that. I'm just saying we can keep our issue areas. We can change too, but hey, it's always nice to have those people that's been there a long time. They know the landscape. They know the issues.
They know the players.
People.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, so are you going to ask for money now, or? I feel like you need to do that
in this economy?
Ohioans Against Extremism needs funds.
Yeah, we do.
They need monies. Do people still say monies?
We say monies.
Every time I say it, I feel like, did you watch the Little Rascal movie?
I know we're dating ourselves here, but
I don't care. Absolutely. Classic.
No, but seriously. First of all, I just spent a weekend handwriting thank you cards to our Q1 donors.
Are you right-handed?
I am right-handed.
Okay, sorry.
We can't all be so cool. Right? But that being said, as we do this work, it's easy to lose sight of the amazing support that we do have because of how much more work there is to do.
Yeah.
But the sheer number of cards that I wrote out during, I don't remember which film marathon we were watching, but I wasn't really watching it. But that being said, it's a little bit humbling because, you know, whether it's $100 or $5 or $50 and, you know, whether it's monthly, one time, all of that helps us do things like the ballot fair, helps us do things like we have an amazing cohort program where we take individuals that don't have political homes, right, but are super engaged, have a niche skill set, and have a project in mind that they want to do. And so we've kind of created an incubator for those people where we plug them in our resources and, you know, help them launch their democracy project. But all of that, you know, comes at a cost. Even with as much technology as exists, you know, you can only get so much done on the free versions, right?
Right.
And those things add up over time. So one, before I ask for more money, I just want to thank the people that have given in whatever capacities, you know, the individual donors, our community partners. Money hasn't fallen out of the sky, but if that were to happen, we'd be very appreciative of that too. But that being said, you hear a little bit about, you know, what we have planned. And this thing is ever evolving. And so the more resources that we have, the more we can do. And the more, you know, people and communities that we can include and engage. And so I just ask you to think about that it's mid-April. So if you probably have filed your taxes already and gotten the return back, right? Bawling a little bit, like it's, you know, so if you find yourself, you know, with a few extra dollars to spare, and the things that we talk about and the work that we do is something that means anything to you, I would implore you to hit the donate button on our website or Substack. I think this is about the time that there's going to be a QR code that you can scan with your phone. And every single dollar that you give, minus whatever processing fees it discloses, right, it goes to, you know, not only doing this work, but finding ways to expand the work.
That's right.
How'd I do?
I thought that was great. And I also am appreciative of you for, you know, thanking the people, because it is like, it's really, I appreciate grassroots fundraising so much. Because again, it just shows people power and what, you know, what folks can do when they come together. But that doesn't mean, again, if money falls out the sky, and it's a large amount of a one-time gift, I'm sure they would accept that as well.
As long as it doesn't, like, we have some parameters, we have some values around our fundraising. Sure. But also, if you are in that category where you were thinking about the large sum of money that you want to give to us, please just email us. We'll talk about it. We'll work it out. info@ohagainstextremism.org. And yeah.
That's right.
Well, we'll figure it out.
Well, thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks for not letting me be alone, you know.
Hey, I'm just a trusted friend on your shoulder.
Aren't we all?
And Maria will be back.
Yes.
Next month, so you will not be seeing me for a while.
Maybe it might be you and her.
Well, where are you going on vacation?
Maybe.
Thanks guys.
Thank you for listening to the Ohioans Against Extremism podcast. If you enjoyed yourself and you want more, you can check us out at ohagainstextremism.org. Be sure to subscribe to our mailing list, our Substack, and feel free to donate if your pockets allow it. See you soon.